Hi, I'm Krista Watson, and this is my vlog number 1 for persuasion class. So our question for vlog number 1 is, what entertainment programming do you watch, and what effect do you think this programming has on your beliefs and your values? For me, I allow my beliefs and my values to dictate what I watch. I find it interesting in the text on page 123, it says we become invested in fictional messages and have emotional responses to them. In other words, fictional messages like the plot of your favorite television drama can engage us so much in their story about human relationships that we don't realize the persuasive messages we are hearing and seeing. As a result, we form specific beliefs and values. See, even though I allow my beliefs and values to dictate what I watch, I realize that I'm not above persuasion. I mean, no one, I don't think, in our country or in our society is above persuasion. So that's the reason why I'm so strict on what I watch, the entertainment programming that I do partake in, which is not much. I think I watch 2 shows. But on top of that, I mean, I find myself realizing, though, that persuasion is a real thing, and if I'm going to be true to who I am and my identity, I need to be able to be very careful what it is I'm allowing to persuade me. With that said, I find myself a bit taken out of video, TV, entertainment series a little bit. I don't connect to characters as well because I'm constantly looking at the process. See, I'm an aspiring filmmaker and actress, and so I know what happens. I get excited when I watch a film that's got great cinematography and great editing. I'm really into the editing part. I'll be watching, like, oh, that was a terrible cut, or oh, that was a nice shot, you know? So I'm constantly, people hate watching movies with me because I'm constantly critiquing the beautifulness of the actual making of the film. So I'm often not as connected to the characters because I'm watching the whole part of it. I'm watching the actual film as far as the making of it and the actors and the acting. If it's got terrible acting in it, I can't force myself to watch it. I'm not trying to say I'm a great actress or anything, but it's just something about a film. If it's got terrible acting, I can't watch it. So I find that I'm disconnected a lot of times within characters in these films, but it doesn't mean that I can't be persuaded by the storylines in the shows that I do watch and I do like. So with that said, I stay away from certain topics that a lot of shows in our on TV today bring up. One of those being sex. On page 104, it says, by using sex to sell their programming, media focuses society's attention on sex and its importance. So I'm actually quite strong about this one because I feel like if a society puts something like sex as its importance, we start to see a lot more things like sex trafficking happening. I did some research on this because I find this to be a very passionate topic. And it says on dosomething.org, it says, according to the U.S. State Department, 600,000 to 800,000 people are trafficked across international borders every year, of which 80% are female and half are children. And then it goes on to say, the average age a teen enters the sex trade in the U.S. is 12 to 14 years old. Many victims are runaway girls who were sexually abused as children. When a society starts putting an emphasis on their TV shows saying subliminal messages, like the quote on page 123 was saying, yes, sex is important. It's what you want. It's what you want to be entertained with. We start seeing young girls in sex trafficking. We start seeing a lot more victims in this, a lot more just things that shouldn't be happening to good people. You know what I mean? And so I found that we have a sex problem in our society. And I don't support that. I won't support a film that has any kind of sexual content in it. And I don't mean to go off on a rant about sex content, but it's important. It talks about it in this chapter about the persuasion that media has over us. So those certain things like that, I have very strong beliefs and values against. And I won't splurge at all on that because I feel like I don't want to be a part of encouraging that trade. One thing, I really liked this quote on page 124. It says, fundamentally, entertainment programming may contribute to a change in the consciousness of a culture and its members. And it goes exactly what I was saying. You start telling someone, this is important, and it changes your conscience. It changes how you think about things and how you do things in a culture. And so I think it's important to stick to your beliefs and values and to know what those are before you even go into programming. On page 31, there's a whole section on self-concept. And this is what I'm going to end on today, because it's important to know your identity and not find it in media, to know it without media. And that's something for me personally. The programming I watch comes off of who I am and my identity, about strong relationships and loving people and encouraging people. So I want to leave encouraged at the end of a program. So this quote on page 31 says, "It is important to our health and well-being to understand how our self-image is influenced by the media-saturated environment we live in, a world where persuaders tell us what they think we should be." So that's my vlog number 1 about how my programming affects my beliefs and values. I would have to say that, yes, I am persuaded, but I want to be persuaded in a good way. I want to be encouraged at the end of a show and not discouraged about the state of our world. Thank you.